right. Part 2 of our cooling series with Steph and the race car, and we're really proud to be showcasing our new air-to-air intake manifold for both the B58 and S58 BMW engines. You've been running something very similar to this in your race car since the beginning. Maybe you can tell us what you've done on your car and then why you did it, and that'll kind of maybe translate into why we've decided to come out with this product now.
Yeah, so from day one when we built the Supra, we took off the water-to-air intercooler and we went to a front mount air-to-air and have been running one of your intercoolers. In doing that, we had to make our own billet intake manifold for the car. We're still using the drive-by-wire throttle body from the B58 engine, did our own design and machined and everything intake manifold. And it's been extremely reliable. The car is much easier to work on, and then we can do whatever intercooler system we want on the front of the car and not be constrained by the physical size or the complexity of trying to put it inside the intake manifold.
So the original system, it's an air-to-water, where you have the charged air cooler core is built into the intake manifold, and then you have a front mount heat exchanger, which is essentially a radiator that is then cooling the water that's then running into the intake manifold to cool the air. So it is a little bit more of a complex system. What you've done is strip a lot of that complexity out by going to a big front mount air-to-air intercooler, which is basically putting the charged air cooler directly into the manifold into the engine. And then on top of that, you have a nitrous setup as well. That's something that we've also designed to be built into both of our standard air-to-water intercoolers as well as our new air-to-air. You know, one of the things that I've noticed is obviously this has got a tubular front end, so it kind of cuts out a lot of the interference that you would see in a normal B58 Supra or like M240 or as a, you know, in a new G80 S58 motor. This is working really well. You got a big 4-inch intercooler core on there, and why we've decided to come out with this product now is we really support the drag race market. You know, it's really big for B58s and S58s. These guys have blown through 1,000 horsepower to 1,200, now crossing 1,500 horsepower. And what we found out, although we do make the best air-to-water intercooler in the market, there are guys who are starting to say, hey, we've reached the limit of thermal capacity that we can have in the OEM, you know, configuration. So what they want to do is they asked for us to come out with an air-to-air intake manifold, delete the cooler out of the intake manifold, and then be able to put either a big air-to-water setup in the front or, like you, a big air-to-air.
On the fuel system, like you really quickly run out of fuel on the direct injection. So then you put 6 port injectors.
Yes.
We run 2,600 cc ID injectors.
Okay.
But then if you're running over 12 or 1,300, you can start running out of 6 2,600 injectors and need to go to 12. So we are only set up for 6 because we only make about 1,200 horsepower, but we do run the nitrous. And we've had this intake manifold for a while, but we've never been able to help any other guys out with drag Supras because it only fits our car.
Yes.
We've cut off all the rest of the front end and everything. And so like this intake manifold doesn't actually fit on most of these street cars and drag cars until you have something like this that is designed around fitting under the hood.
Yeah, so what we've done, you know, for our production version is we have this tapered throttle body location that is actually designed to kind of fit more towards an area where you can still retain your stock radiator support from the car and kind of snake into having the piping kind of come through the side, whereas yours is more in the center. Ours is going to be down to the side. Reduces the number of like bends and pipe cuts that you need in terms of your intercooler piping. We've done CFD analysis on this, so it really makes sure that it gets proper airflow distribution into the manifold. We also have had the ability to kind of think about, you know, the future where guys are going to eventually start doing billet blocks. They're going to be pushing that 1650, 1850, 2000 horsepower. We've designed it to be able to have 12 injectors for the port injection. The system comes with 1 rail standard. It comes with 6 block off plugs. So if you're not using the second rail, you can block it off. Or we've even designed custom 1/8 MPT plugs that you can actually run direct nitrous per cylinder in the second rail location. So you can even run 2 rails for fuel and then even run the nitrous through the charge pipe as well. So there's a lot of different configurations that you can kind of come up with. Ports on the side to be able to measure the different parameters, and then we even put ports on the bottom to do the same. So we've kind of tried to think about everything in terms of where the market's going to go. So this will be something that's obviously got a high use case for the drag guys, but if circuit guys want to get involved, they can do that as well. If there's other people trying to do a similar drift car setup like what you have, now there's something that they can buy off the shelf from CSF that's going to be able to give them a very similar package that what you've been running in your car for almost 6 years.
It's definitely I think, the way to go. If simplicity and lightweight is the goal.
We have a specific version for the B58, and then we have a specific version for the S58 because they are slightly different. So this is going to be available, and the price for both of the models is $39.95. So as we get towards the slope, and tapered throttle body location, what we've done, which is an improvement on what you're running, because you're running a B58 throttle body, this is actually designed for a BMW S55 throttle body, which has got a larger ID. So you're going to be able to run more flow. In our product listing, we even tell you what you can buy, which is a throttle body adapter for an S58 or B58 to an S55. So it's plug and play. What we really like about the S55 throttle body as well is it's got like that BMW quick connect on it. So there are companies that either make an adapter to basically a flange so you can put like a clamp on it, or it's really easy to chop off to be able to just weld on your own flange for like a quick connect. So that's one thing that's a really nice improvement on our design. This is a prototype. What you're seeing is a 2-piece plenum. Our final production version is actually going to be a 1-piece plenum that we're machining on a 5-axis machine. We've spent a lot of time on the programming, the designing, done a lot of 3D printing and testing, and so this is something that we've been working on hard for well over a year. We're really excited about people getting this on their car. It's been proven. Top fastest BMW at Texas 2K was running it. We had multiple cars running in the 7 seconds in the quarter mile. So these are all cars pushing 14, 15, 1600 horsepower now.
Are they running an air-to-air or a remote mount air-to-water?
So what's cool is out of the 3 cars at Texas 2K who are running this, the top guy was running a remote air-to-water setup using 2 of our cores. The other 2 are more like street high-performance drag cars, and both of those cars are running air-to-air. And so I think that's going to be the next step in our product development, is how do we work with the turbo kit manufacturers to be able to develop a complete package that works for different turbo kits, right? Because you want to be able to have multiple options. I think the air-to-water is best use case in a dedicated drag car, because you have to carry cold water and ice and all that stuff, and if you're going to be running on the street and you want to have the best of both options, kind of do similar to yours and run an air-to-air.
And so the air-to-water car, their cores are more volume than what you can fit in the intake manifold location.
They're just larger cores, more thermal capacity. They actually took 2 of our 12 by 5 by 5 cores, so they made a big 12 by 10 by 5 box. They delete the heat exchanger, they delete all the creature comfort stuff in the front, and they have this massive air-to-water core that they just run, an ice box in the front seat. They can fill it with, below ambient freezing water, and then they kind of get their runs through that.
That's how we ran our drag cars 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Was air to water and an ice tank.
That's one, but then, a lot of guys are like, well, hey, I still want to retain my AC. I still want to be able to drive my car on the street. Then we would probably recommend that they go to a traditional air-to-air setup. It's less complexity, plus you're getting the the air exchange from just driving your vehicle on the street. Steph, thanks again for having us, and I'm really glad that all these parts showed up on time for us to be able to do this video. If you want more information, you can check it out on csfrace.com. Good luck to Steph, the whole team, and Frederick, at this year's drift race. You guys had a great showing on the first race of coming in second place, and can't to see what happens next in Atlanta.
Cool. Thanks,
All right,
Ravi.
appreciate it. Thanks, Steph.